Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson. So this is lesson number 12 of our CRM, right? We're creating a CRM, customer relations management system, right? So in this tutorial we're gonna be discussing about search forms, right? So we're gonna be using what we call Django filters, right? So the first thing you will have to do, you will go to your terminal and then you type in this Django pip install Django dash filter. I already installed, so that's why it's giving me that. And then we're gonna go to installed app. So let me show you. So you go to your, as you can see here on your left, you can see that you can go to your project folder and then you go to settings, right? And then you're gonna scroll down and then under manager on installed apps. So manager is our app. So everything that you install with pip, you will have to put it here. So but then this one is different because how you installed it, the name is not the same as when you have to put it in your installed app. But then you can search for the documentation. They'll give you like a proper illustration of this. So after that, let me run the server and see. Okay, so that is not, I think it's Django filters. Yeah, it's a plural. Yeah, so it's running correctly. So let's go to our, so what we are going to do here, like for example, we will want to search for the orders, in terms of product category, right? You'll have to select one of them and then you will only get that data, right? The data is gonna be filtered, So how are we gonna do that? What are we gonna use? We're gonna use what we call, since we have installed Django filters, we will have to create a file called filters. It's similar to the form. You remember with the forms, we also did the same thing. So you're gonna go to we're gonna import the model. So we're gonna say from Django. Let me start with from dot models import order, right? This is the model that we're gonna deal with here, right? But then so and then we have what we're gonna do also, we will have to inherit, right? So we're gonna go to Django filters, we're gonna create a class. So we're gonna inherit from filter set, right? So we're gonna go down in class, name our class order. I'm gonna call it order filter, and then we're gonna inherit from filter set. And then what's gonna happen next is class meta, and then we need to determine the model, which is order, and then we're gonna determine the fields that we're gonna work with within that model, which in this case, let's say all. We're gonna update it later on just to check if it's gonna work. So let's go to, this is the customer template, right? We're gonna put it there, so we can put it here between, above the table, above this table, like this table, right? So that's why I'm putting it right there right? So we're gonna first, let's go create a view. We want to create a variable called my filter, which is going to equal, or first we have to import. So we're going to say from dot filters import order filter, right? Same process. And then we go to and then we go to the customer view, right? And then within the customer view, what we're gonna say there, we're gonna use that order filter, right? And then that order filter, what is it going to do? It's gonna take in the request. Remember, when you search, when searching is, we are trying to get data, right? So in our form, we will have to demonstrate that we are using which method. It's either you are using the post method. You remember when you like posting something, like when you upload something, you put it inside into the database. You are putting data into the database. But then if you want to get information from the database, you will have to use what we call the get method, right? And then so it's a get method, and then you'll have to determine the query set. So the query set is going to be the order. So this is how this thing works. And then so you're gonna search, and then the request is gonna be passed in here, and then you're gonna get your order is going, data is going to be updated, like what you're gonna see, right? It's gonna be updated to what you have searched, right? So the request that is gonna be stored here, and then we're gonna have to update the order, right? What is displayed, QS. So you're gonna write it like that, and then you will have to, since we will have to render this one out, you're gonna put it there inside the dictionary. And then let's see if it were all okay. So now we will have to go to the template, right? So we're gonna put it here. We're gonna create a form here. Form. Remember that get method, you know. So we're gonna determine the method is get, and then you also we're gonna put our form there, which is our variable, which is gonna be filter dot form. You know, you gotta put that dot form. You know, for example, let's go and try and see what happens if you don't put dot form. This is what you're gonna get. So make sure that you're gonna say dot form here, and then when you, like, as you can see now, the data is like this. Let me see if it works. If I say delivered, or we need a button, right? So we're gonna create a button there, a submit button. So we're gonna say button, and then we're gonna describe the type, and then we're gonna say it's a submit, because we're submitting what we want to see, right? And then we're gonna say and then we're gonna, like, for the design, I'm gonna use this one, button. No, it's not button, and then I'm gonna say it's button 2, right? Let me see if okay, and then here I'm gonna say it's search, So as you can see, we have that search. Let me search now. If I say pending, you can see it only shows the pending, the orders with only this status of pending, right? If I say I want only cheesecake, as you can see, the data is filtered, and this is how we get. This is what we get, right? So I actually want to put what we call the date range, right? This is the feature this module has. So let me show you here. I think we are done here. So now we'll work here, right? So as you can see, we don't need this one. The customer, we don't need it, and the date, we don't need it. So to exclude them to be displayed from being displayed, we're just gonna do a list here, a list of strings, right? And then on that list, you're gonna mention what is it that you want to exclude. In this case, we want to exclude the customer, comma. Remember, it should be a string, meaning that it should be in a semicolon. Date created, right? So when we refresh, you see now we only have these two: status, product, right? So what's gonna happen next? We're gonna import what we call date range filter, right? And we're gonna make the start date. Let me underscore that start date, and then we're gonna use that date range filter, and then we're gonna the field name, remember, inside a string, otherwise it's gonna interpret it as a variable, right? So we have date created, right? This is the field we're gonna be dealing with in this case. And then to look up expression, so it's gonna be greater than or equals to, right? That's for the start date, and then for the end date, let me just copy this, let me just paste this. The only difference is going to be less than or equals to, right? So when I refresh, as you can see, we have this one: less than, date created is less than or equals to, right? If it's less than today, that means it's before, right? It's before today, right? Let me check. As you can see, today is the 16th. That means we don't have something that is, let me just remove these. Let me see if we have something. No, let me check. Today, okay, yesterday. So date created is less than or equals to yesterday. So nothing was created before yesterday, but then after yesterday, here it's more like after. Let me check. I forgot, I have two, like, so as you can see, this is actually before yesterday. And then let me just do this, and then I say yesterday, date created is less than or equal to. If it's less than yesterday, that means it's before yesterday, right? Or is it correct? Let me just refresh this year. Date created is less than this month. That means, oh yeah, but yeah, that's how it works. Like, I'm having difficulty, to be honest, but yeah, I think it's working properly. That's how you create a date range filter, right? Okay guys, thank you for your time. I'll see you on the next lesson.